From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, the Fairbanks Metropolitan Area Transportation System Policy Committee met before a packed house in the Fairbanks City Council chambers this morning.
The primary topic of discussion, approval of the Fbx College Road Corridor Study final report. Jamie Schwartzwald has the story.
As it is currently written, the College Road Corridor Study recommends reducing the central and western portion of the roadway from 4 lanes to 2 with a center turn lane. That restriping job could become a part of the Alaska Department of Transportation's College Road Rehabilitation Project, which is slated for construction next summer. Prior to discussion on the approval, the committee that consists of local elected officials as well as representatives from Alaska DOT and the EPA heard overwhelming support for leaving College as a 4-lane road.
I am not in favor. My customers are not in favor. My employees are not in favor. My residents that I've talked to in the neighborhood are not in favor. I'm also on the Fair Board. We are not in favor. I've gone to the farmers market and talked to numerous people. They are not in favor. So please don't do this.
God forbid if we did build it that it doesn't cause an accident, but I think it has potential to, because somebody is going to mentally check out because they've been driving on a 4-lane road for 35 plus years. Thank you.
After hearing those and other very similar comments, the committee voted unanimously to rescind its 6-1 March vote to approve the study. The next agenda item called for final approval of the study. This item was amended to read that the policy committee approved the College Road Corridor Study, excluding the 3-lane option, and to task the FMAT's technical committee with considering the scopes of affected projects. The amended language passed 4-3. Fairbanks City Mayor John Eberhardt voted against. Eberhardt says though he appreciates those who testified in opposition to the restriping today, he feels they are in the minority.
No, in fact, the majority of written opinion material that I saw was in favor of reducing down to 3 lanes. Most of those people obviously weren't here today because they'd already commented in writing or other open houses and that. So I simply felt, as I said, that the technical committee should be able to look at the whole thing again and keep all options on the table.
Fairbanks North Star Borough Mayor and FMAT's Policy Committee Chair Luke Hopkins voted in favor of the language.
Lots of discussions about how it would affect the businesses, how businesses felt it would affect them, as far as their delivery and volume of traffic pulling out onto College Road. And so at this point, the Policy Committee said that they don't want to be considering the 3-lane change from a 4-lane road now.
Jamie Schwartzwald, News Center 11.
The city mayor is questioning a rate hike being requested by Fairbanks Natural Gas Company. FNG has applied to the Regulatory Commission of Alaska for an increase of nearly 7% for all of their customers. Mayor John Eberhardt says an increase will have a negative effect on many city residents as well as businesses. He plans to file comments with the Regulatory Commission asking why the increase is needed. He emphasized that many people have had to move from Fairbanks because of high fuel costs. The RCA will take public comments on the proposed rate hike until July 25th.
We want the best deal for city residents, and we want to get gas here as cheaply as possible. And we just want to look out for their interests. Energy costs are killing many people and businesses. FNG is expanding storage and so forth, so maybe for some period of time there's a need for a cost increase. We don't know. We need to find out. But ultimately we want to drive down these energy costs. We have to. And especially we want to make sure city residents aren't paying more than borough residents.
Police say a Fairbanks man is facing several charges after almost hitting a patrol car while under the influence of numerous drugs with a minor child in the vehicle. 82-year-old Donald Victor Honia is charged with endangering the welfare of a child in the 1st degree, reckless driving, and DUI. According to an affidavit, Honia drove his Ford Expedition through a steady red light, ran up a curb while swerving in an intersection, and almost hit a police patrol vehicle. Once pulled over, Honia admitted to being under the influence of a number of drugs, including oxycodone, muscle relaxants, and fentanyl. The officer on scene said Honia was driving his 6-year-old grandson to school.
All right, when we come back, troopers are trying to reduce fatal accidents.
Also, it's time to check in at Pioneer Park. Those stories are next. Stay with us. Welcome back. Alaska State Troopers are now looking more intently for aggressive drivers because they want to reduce deadly crashes on Alaska's roads. Aggressive driving includes speeding, tailgating, and running red lights. Troopers say there have been several fatal accidents within Fairbanks recently, a number of which could have been prevented if drivers obeyed the laws. Public service announcements will air on TV and radio through July 24th, reminding drivers to be smart and follow the rules. Trooper Tyler Stewart says the public can help too by reporting life-threatening behavior.
It could be somebody driving real fast. It could be somebody that they believe to be intoxicated. It could be somebody that's following too closely, tailgating, or what most people would consider to be road rage. And we want them to call 911, let us know, kind of pinpoints these excessive aggressive drivers, and then maybe we can actually get out there, pull them over, and cite them, arrest them, whatever needs to be done.
An Alaska Air National Guardsman received a Silver Star for valor this month. Monty Bowen has details in this week's military report.
Master Sergeant Roger Sparks received the military's third highest honor in a ceremony at Joint Base Helmendorf-Richardson. He was awarded the honor for his role as a pararescueman during a fierce firefight with insurgents in Afghanistan. Alaska National Guard Major Joseph Conroy said there were many heroes that day, including the pararescuemen and the soldiers involved in the battle.
But I'm particularly honored to congratulate Master Sergeant Roger Sparks on the award of the Silver Star and thank him and his family for their dedicated and selfless service to our nation.
Sparks was one of 2 guardsmen with the 212th Rescue Squadron that took heavy fire while responding to a call to retrieve combat casualties. He is credited with saving 4 American lives. The 212th had an impressive record during its tours.
In the span of 2 years, the 212th Rescue Squadron was deployed for a cumulative time of 1 year, resulting in over 300 battlefield saves.
Master Sergeant Sparks said it was all overwhelming.
You know, I mean, the actions that took place that day were overwhelming to everyone involved, and we did everything we could, you know, to save those guys and do our jobs, and it was just overwhelming, and I'm thankful to be such a part of such a wonderful team.
This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Military Report is brought to you by Stanley Nissan. Innovation for all.
Time now to check back in at Pioneer Park as many events are happening this week with Stephanie Woodard.
All right, I'm back here now with Park Manager Jason Avery and Park Supervisor Dave. So, how you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic.
All right, well, I bet you guys are wondering why I'm in this thing, so tell me what this is and let's start talking about it.
All right, well, this is our Parks and Rec bathtub. This is the 5th year we've had the bathtub races here at Pioneer Park. They'll be on Sunday. We're going to see all kinds, we want to get people to get bathtubs in the race, but we're hoping about 5 to 10 bathtubs.
So what happens during these races? I mean, does it get really serious in here?
Yeah, it starts in Gold Rush Town. They get up to pretty high speeds. So typically, you'll see at least 1 to 2 of these babies potentially tip over or crash.
Oh, my goodness.
A lot of competition, typically about 40 to 50 seconds for the entire course.
Holy cow. So what else do you have going on here inside the park this week?
Well, we've got a bunch of Golden Days activities, starting with a kickoff party on Wednesday, Golden Heart Luncheon on Thursday, as well as Young Pioneers on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, we've got the Alaska Barbecue Championships. We've also got the Governor's Picnic on Sunday, the Red Green Regatta, and then capping it off with our 5th annual bathtub race.
The question is the governor going to get in a bathtub?
Well, let's hope that we can get the governor in one of the bathtubs.
All right, guys, ready? Here we go. Go.
This week's vendor spotlight is on Just Originals, carvings and sculptures by Justin and other local artists.
Okay, that was a lot of fun. So make sure you come on down and check out all the great things there are to do, because that's what's happening this week at Pioneer Park. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to make a bathtub?
No, I have no time, but definitely would like to watch the races.
I know, and they fill them up with water, and so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, very. And you like water as of yesterday.
Oh yeah, as of yesterday, love it, but warm water.
All right, Joe Cook is coming up next, and he'll join us live from the Carlson Center, the site of WEO 2014. Sports is next.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here, reporting live from the Carlson Center, the site of Wheel 2014. A number of spectators and athletes and volunteers have descended upon the Carlson Center for opening ceremonies. And this is footage of what happened earlier today as opening ceremonies take place right now. The Scissors Broad Jump event was the first event. The last time this event was a part of Wheel was back in 2006. It's been almost 10 years. The hard part, though, is sticking to the landing as both heels have to be down for it to count. And then the Scissor Broad Jump and the Kneel Jump were final events as well. The Drop the Bomb and 4-man carry events had their qualifying rounds, and the one-hand reach event had its preliminary round as well. Now, today also featured the Race of the Torch 5K race. Now, the Race of the Torch field had 29 runners, 14 men and 15 women. 15-year-old Keel Simon of Fairbanks repeats as the Race of the Torch champion. He goes to West Valley, finishing in 18 minutes, 27 seconds, beating his time from last year. And Marjorie Tabone from Nome in her 8th WEO won the women's title in 23:22. The win was special for her.
I've never done the Race of the Torch, so I figured I might as well try it. And so this is my first time doing it, and winning it for the first time is surprising. I just am so honored to be able to do this race next to these women who have done it for so long.
And I was thinking, don't think ahead and think, oh yeah, it's going to be easy, I'm going to win. I just had to keep my mind on the run, make sure I just put all my focus into the running and not the finish.
Switching gears to baseball now, the Alaska Gold Panthers hope to have their last 2 home games of the summer tonight and tomorrow at Grotto Memorial Park as they host the Matsu Miners. And now, weather permitting, though, it's been a pretty wet summer. 8 games have been rained out so far for the Panthers season, but the Panthers are the best offensive team in the Alaska Baseball League, and they'll put their 9-game win streak on the line this week. They swept the Anchorage Glacier Pilots and the Kenai Peninsula Oilers in their last 2 series. The defending ABL champs' mantra is to protect the Banks, and they've done that again this season. Alaska is 20-3 at home and 3-3 on the road. After this weekend's ABL Showcase and All-Star Game, the Panthers' last 12 games will all be on the road. But Concordia Irvine sophomore Vaughn Bazonian is thankful for the time he got to spend in Fairbanks as a Panther.
You know what, it's been an awesome opportunity to come up here and play baseball for the Gold Panthers, and you know, I'm speechless, and I'm really thankful for, you know, everything that they've done, and it's a very classy organization, and you know, it'll be interesting to, you know, finish the season at home this early, but it's definitely a pleasure.
And so now we're going to do something a little different. As we started with our golf tips last week, we have another one this week. And this time we're going to go on the greens with James Contreras once again from the Fairbanks Golf Course. And we're talking the greens, we're talking the short game. And I'm talking putting. So we'll see if I can sink some long putts or some short ones. Let's just see how I did. Hopefully you'll do better after watching this golf tip. Interior Sports fans, here once again with James Contreras, golf pro and golf teacher, if you will, out here at the Fairbanks Golf Course. Now today we're going to talk about the most important part of the game, the short game, i.e. putting. So I'm going to try to get some of these balls into the hole, as they say. I'm going to try to set up, and then James is going to walk me through. So as I'm approaching, you know, a golf hole here out on the course on the greens, what am I looking to do as far as my setup? What's the best way I can get one in the hole here?
Okay. The first thing we need to do is line up. So if you have a ball right here, is line up the club head. And I think this one has some lines or dots down there and lines here. So you're trying to get perpendicular to our target. From here, your thumbs are down the shaft. So you want to keep it nice and secure so your hands and palms are basically facing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And shoulders look pretty good. And it's going to be a smooth accelerating stroke, and once again we're going to try to line you up so you can actually make some here. Okay.
All right.
And then it's your shoulder movement. Try not to use your hands. It's a smooth accelerating stroke.
Okay, so something like this?
It's pretty good.
I've heard the term, you know, reading the greens, you know, and like you just said, this was a little bit fast. I guess how does one read the greens when they're looking to make a putt?
Yeah, the first thing you need to do is definitely read the green. So that gets you to set up the putter correctly. Reading the green has to do with the distance also. So you pick your distance, there's a break point. You want to roll to that point and let it drop in from there. If it's wet, yes, it's slower, so you have to play less break. You got to hit it firmer. It doesn't curve as much, so drier conditions opposite, then it tends to drift more It's faster, so you don't have to hit as hard, so it'll take more curve, definitely.
Why is this short game, why is it so important?
Well, if you 4-putt here, it took you 2 to get on, that adds up, and you want to have low scores. So, if you want to get better, you have to have a good putting, good chipping and putting, get up and down and save those strokes.
Most definitely. Well, thanks again, Mr. Contreras, for your help. Trying to get balls in the hole here on the green. So in the next lesson, we'll actually try to go out and actually hit some balls for distance, if you will. All right. That'll be next in Golf Tips here with James Contreras. Appreciate it. Catch you next week, Interior Sports fans.
Golf Tips.
And we'll be covering WIO all week right here on Channel 11. But that's it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your Forward with the Forecast. As always, we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Fbx Evening News. Time to take a look at the weather. Cloudy skies across the interior today, but no rain. Unfortunately, rain is in the forecast, and it might interfere with our parade on Saturday. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Of all the photographs I received, this is one of the most incredible ones I have had. Landre Johnson captured this double rainbow from Chena Ridge Saturday, and look at that. That is amazing. And as always, if you have a photograph you want to share, by all means, send to photos@ktvf11.com. Out the airport right now, 64 after a high of 70. The low last night, 54. There's your record high and record low. Sunrise and sunset, 19 hours, 52 minutes of daylight, a loss of 8 minutes from yesterday. Satellite and radar showing more rain moving across the Fairbanks area. We'll zoom in with the latest radar and show that we are looking at a little swath of moisture coming our direction, so we can't rule out the umbrellas for this evening. Elsewhere across the state, here's what it looks like. And as you can see, we're looking at scattered rain around the Seward Peninsula. Nome looking at more rain in the forecast there. Sunshine and partly cloudy skies over southeast Alaska, cloudy skies over the Gulf of Alaska, and cloudy skies over the North Slope. Lower 48 weather, more storms moving off the eastern slopes of the Rockies, heading on down that jet stream we've been looking at the last couple of days, bringing more heavy rain expected over the deep south and up and down the eastern seaboard. But the big news is the warm-up that's expected to move across the northern part of the country by this weekend and early next week. As you can see, hot temperatures are expected, all because the jet stream will remain well to the north, allowing all that warm and humid air to come up from the south. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections. Scattered showers for Barrow and Fort Yukon. Rain expected for Nome. Here in the interior, we'll be looking once again at scattered showers around the area, and the high water will still be in the Fairbanks and Delta regions because of the added rainfall from the last couple of days. Over southeast Alaska, things look pretty good. Partly cloudy skies for Juneau. A chance of a few showers in the Ketchikan area. While out to the southwest, we're looking at partly cloudy skies at Cold Bay and Bethel, and sunny skies in the Kodiak region. And if heading on down the Anchorage Bowl, it looks like for the most part, not too bad. Mainly partly cloudy skies, lots of sunshine for Homer, and like I said, partly cloudy skies for Valdez and Anchorage. So here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. Again, looking at cloudy skies with scattered rain showers, 55 degrees. Tomorrow, another day just like today, basically, with more clouds and scattered showers. The extended forecast, and it's not looking too good, unfortunately. As we look at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and more of a rain pattern moving back in, especially for the parade on Saturday. Then maybe some just mainly cloudy skies for Sunday and Monday. Temperatures, well, low to mid 60s each day. And daytime overnight lows, I should say, right around the low 50s. So all in all, not that encouraging of a forecast, guys. Have you dried off from last night?
Yes, I've seen a lot of people out there today, and that's the first thing that they said to me. So, what's up with that water? But
I've heard it chilling out, but that's ridiculous.
That's a good one, Mike. And, well, we better get used to this wet weather for the next couple of days, I guess, huh?
Unfortunately, and like I said, the parade is a little iffy right now. We've got to keep an eye on it, keep our fingers crossed.
All right. Well, they will be selling those rubber ducky umbrellas if people need them.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great idea. I like that.
Yeah. Come rain or shine, it'll be a great parade anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Always go. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mike. And that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, California is imposing strict fines to battle an ongoing drought. That's coming up next with Brian Williams.
Reminder, join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
Okay, we're going to leave you tonight with music and dancing that were on display today at the Morris Thompson Center thanks to the Summer Arts Festival. From all of us here at the News Center, have a great night.
Good night.